Hello, in this video I will show you how to replace the automatic transmission fluid on Volkswagen Touareg 3 liters TDI. So now we're underneath the car and we can see that there is two plugs. One is the drain plug and the other one is the fuel plug. This small one is the drain plug and this big one is the fuel plug. After we drain all the oil, we need to remove the oil pan and we need to remove all these bolts that hold the oil pan. And when we remove the oil pan, there is a filter on the transmission that we need to replace, and also we need to clean the oil pan. First, we'll start by draining the oil. If the video is useful, please like and subscribe. Now that the oil is almost drained, we're gonna put the drain plug back on and tighten it to 20 Newton meters. And then we're going to start removing the oil pan, and the rest of the oil will come out when we remove the oil pan. I'm removing all the bolts of the oil pan except two, one on one side and one on the other side, in order to hold the oil pan up while I remove the rest of the bolts. And now that somebody holds the oil pan, I can remove the last two bolts and then take the oil pan down. Okay, now we take the oil pan down and there is oil in there, so we need to drain it, remove it from the oil pan. It's always a good idea to measure how much oil has come out of the transmission and fill about the same amount. I've drained about 6.5 liters of oil, so that's the amount of oil that I'm going to be putting around. This is the transmission filter that is held by 3 bolts that I need to remove, and then the filter will come down. And this is the oil pan. There is like 5 magnets that we need to remove and clean, and also we need to clean the whole oil pan and change the gasket as well. I'm starting by removing the filter. with the removal of the filter, there's a lot of oil coming out also. Okay, here's the oil pan already cleaned and ready to be installed. The magnets are back in place. Now I need to put on the new gasket, and the oil pan is ready to be put on the transmission. Next, I'm going to clean a little bit with the cloth whatever is left of the oil, but it's been dripping for about an hour or more. And now next I can put on the new transmission filter. Here's the new transmission filter, and right there where on this hole we need to put on the an O-ring, which was in the kit. I'm also gonna be lubricated, getting some oil from up there, and going to lubricate it so that it goes in easier. And then I can put on the filter and place the bolts on. Okay, now that the filter is on and everything is cleaned, we can put the oil pan back on the transmission. We're going to put on all the bolts of the transmission, and then we have to tighten them to 8 Newton meters. After all the bolts are tightened to 8 Newton meters, next I'll show you the service manual of what exactly has to be done to fuel the transmission. To fuel the transmission properly, first we need to fill it until the oil starts dripping while the car is off. Then we need to start the car and go through all the gears for around 2 seconds, once or twice. And then we need to go underneath the car and start filling the transmission again until it starts dripping again. After it starts dripping, we're gonna put on the fuel plug and put it on a scan tool and check the temperature to see what temperature it is. When it's 35 degrees temperature, we can open the fuel plug and start, and afterwards the oil will start dripping. We'll wait until the dripping is very little and then close the filler plug. If there's no dripping, that means we need to fuel in more oil. So here at the moment, now we're filling the transmission while the engine is off. We'll continue filling the transmission until oil starts dripping from the level hole. Here we can see now it starts dripping, so we're going to put the fuel plug back on and then we're going to start the car. Now we'll start the car and go through the gears, through each gear for 2 seconds, once or twice. Okay, now we're going to leave the car in parking and leave the car running while we continue filling the transmission. We'll continue filling the transmission until the oil starts dripping again from the hole. Okay, we can see now that the oil started to drip. So now we're going to put the fuel plug back on and start the scan tool and look at what the temperature of the transmission fluid is. We can see the temperature of the transmission fluid is 34 degrees. When it becomes 35 degrees, we're going to open the fuel plug and let the oil drip until there is very little dripping. Okay, it's at 35 degrees. Now we're going to open the fuel plug. We can see that the oil started dripping after we opened the fuel plug. Now we're going to wait for it to start dropping less. It's not gonna stop at all, but when it starts dropping less, then we're going to close the fuel plug. And now we're going to put on the fuel plug and tighten it to 70 Newton meters. And that's the transmission oil change done. Thank you for watching.